Well, first and foremost, congratulations to VCU. They're a very, very physical, very, very tough team. Had a great turnaround this season from last season. And then, obviously, I want to thank our fans for the last home game. I think it was around 1,400. So when you're not having a great year, but they show up to say goodbye to your four seniors, and they show out. So a great thank you, a much appreciated thank you to Rhode Nation as usual. And I want to thank our four seniors for their contributions to our program, not just this season, but some of them is one season, and a lot of them helped build this. Maya helped build this program from day one. So really, an emotional night tonight, but a huge thank you to them. And, obviously not the game we wanted to play. Again, not the 3 quarters of not showing up ready to the keys to the game. Physicality, boxing out, taking care of the basketball. They lacked physical toughness today for 3 quarters. And then, much like a couple games this season, they decide to play with 5-6 minutes left in the game, and it's just too late. So where that urgency was, the fourth quarter, has to be from jump. And in order to be a very good VCU team, you have to have that urgency. And we had to play 4 quarters of basketball to win today. We really did. So we did not, and VCU was the better team today.
Open up to questions for Coach.
Tammi, the fourth quarter, you said it's happened a couple times. How do you get it for the first 3? What do you change?
I wish I had a magic pill to tell you. It's something we talk about every day. It's being ready. But again, we didn't have a great practice the other day, yesterday. Scout team manhandled us on the boards. And that was concerning when our urgency was defense to a stop, to a box out, and hit. We actually said hit. So when we came in halftime, and the question was, hey, why aren't we hitting anybody? And they didn't have answers as to why. And so I think, when you start losing a couple games and the mentality of, trying to get them, the past is the past, tomorrow's the tomorrow. We're in the here and now. Can you compete for 40 minutes? That's a prideful thing. That's hard. That's you show up to play hard from jump. And so that's what we're trying to teach this bunch is doesn't matter what your record is, doesn't matter anything. If you have pride, I want you to show up for 40 minutes ready to play, to win. And that's the message. Listen, hope, faith, and willingness to do your job for 40 minutes. That's what we've been preaching. Doesn't matter. I don't care what our record is. And so teaching, 17 to 23-year-olds that and get out of your head, get out of the negativity, get out of woe is me, we're not having the season we want. That's our message to them is, at any point when you decide to turn it around, you could be a very good team. And we got to decide when we're going to turn it around. And it's got to be from jump. And so that's our message every day is what are we waiting for?
What happens when it turns on the bench or what you see from them? What happens there? And is that something you can take away moving into the late part of the season? How does that happen?
Well, really, it's our 3 keys all season long. We defend to a box out, we rebound, then we run and take care of the ball. And those have been the things we've been focusing on. But we're very undisciplined with our consistency of what we do and how we do it every day. Where, our prior 2 teams, especially last year's team, they were very disciplined and very consistent. We also had great leadership. We have some inexperienced leaders right now who are trying to learn that, and you got to be very patient with that. But last year's leadership was incredible. Say Lassiter was incredible. She really was. And she kept us together, and in practice and in games. And so, being coach-led, I wish I could play. I wish I could be on the floor with them from jump as a player. But, right now, this late in the season, we try to build momentum and takeaways, but, there's no condolence prize here. We play hard for 6 minutes. They know. We talk about it in the locker room. It's got to be 40 minutes. And you've got to decide you want to do it. You got to decide, and you got to stay in it. You got to play for something. And so we're still positive with them. We're still trying to teach them, but at some point they've got to do it. The players got to play. They got to execute. And so getting them ready for Dayton, again, stay in the moment, and then trying to get some momentum going into the tournament where a new season starts. Maybe that's the key. Maybe it's their way. Hey, we think we're good enough. We can turn it on. New season clicks, and now we have something to play for. I've never felt that. I've never felt that way as a player or a coach. Anytime you lace them up and you step on the court, you better be ready to compete. And that's always been our message. So that's what we're going to preach from here on out. Stay positive, stay locked in, and we got to play for 40 minutes.
I mean, the preseason predictions, obviously, they're not worth the paper that they go on, but based on the poll, these two teams would have looked the reverse of each other. You would have been imposing your will on them. You might have been clinching at least a share of another conference title tonight. Do you think about that at all?
Oh, of course. Of course I do. But again, you have to be realistic. You have to think about it as a coach, because every day I go back and I say, we assess. We've already assessed our recruiting and what we want. What are the non-negotiables now? This season is not the kid's fault. It's the coach's fault. Did I put the wrong pieces together? Chemistry, too many overlapping, different things. And so, of course, you always think about that. Beth went out and she got some really good pieces. She's got and put it together. And with the portal now and with everything, a team can change overnight. You have no idea. That's why preseason, I never put stock in that. Because I'm like, I have no idea who half these players are on the other teams. So you're just like throwing it out. Oh, they were good last year. They're going to be good. But again, we lost a lot last year, a lot of pieces. I think our starters, we had Maya back. Maya. We lost everything else. Year before, same thing. We lost 4 starters. So when I go out and get Dee or Tisha, you never know now you know what they can do, but you never know what they can do together. And so, and again, that's not their fault. Sometimes it works like it did last year, and sometimes it maybe didn't click as we thought it was going to click. And then we go back to the drawing board, and you have to reassess. We have to evaluate us. What are we going to do differently next year to be better? And so that's why preseason, to me, it really doesn't make a difference. Although I do think we had enough talent to be in the top 4. I really do think we underperformed.
And obviously, the group that you started tonight, 2 you will lose, 2 have decisions with Kenan and Maya. You still have a few games left, obviously, to sort that out. But do you have any sort of idea or any sort of feeling about which way they're leaning?
We never really get involved in that. We let the season play out. And then we talk about it, and we do not influence the kids. We don't, if a kid wants to go, I let them go, because I don't ever want someone to be here that doesn't want to be here, full throttle want to be here to get better and improve and win. If they have their sights set on they want to leave, whether it's to go pro or whether it's to go to another school, very rarely do I try to talk them out of that, because that can go very badly too. So we'll have those conversations after the A-10 tournament, the final conversations with Kenan and Maya.
Coach, obviously a lot to improve on tonight with getting out of the gates, but it seemed like one player tonight that played nearly a full 40 was Dee Davis. Obviously she came out, and when everyone kind of seemed to have a lackluster offense and defense, she was flying around, getting rebounds, and she seemed to have that consistency again tonight. Can you talk about the importance of that?
Well, I think Dee's been playing the past couple weeks at a very high level for us, able to score the ball, affecting on the boards, and she's been playing really, really well for us. And so that it's kind of harder to take her off the floor when she's the one who's really, really scoring for us. And being able to play her at the 2, normally we had to start seniors tonight, we started, but she's much better, I think, off the ball, and letting people find her to hunt her shot. So you know, from a playing standpoint, I think Dee Dee's been playing a high level basketball for us and putting points on the board and really rebounding for us. I think she's done a nice job.
You have Dayton up next, and how important is it to end the regular season on a high note going into the tournament?
Well, obviously you want to win. It does so much more for morale. It just does. From a player's perspective, they feel better to end the season on a win, a high note. But really, if you win and you play really poorly and Dayton just plays really bad, there's no fix there. You've got to play well. It matters how you win and lose basketball games. It does. Just to get a win, say we play horrendously, the score is 40-39, and they play worse than us. There's no fix there. You got to feel good about what you're doing. Are we defending at a high level? Are we boxing out? Are we taking care of the ball? And so really, I'm really concerned about how we're playing and getting our players some rhythm together. And so yes, I want to win. I love winning. I hate losing. But I really want to start playing well together, getting some kids doing what they normally do. And right now, we have a problem boxing out. We have a problem with that. And so we gotta really address it. We gotta fix that. So I really, against Dayton, and their bigs are physical. That's the one thing they do really well is rebounding. So I'm excited going into that game to see, can we improve our rebounding? Can we go to the boards harder, and can we box out? So there are a lot of things, again, to work on going into Dayton. And that's the goal, is to get better and work on those things so we can go into the A-10 tournament on a high note.
Any other questions for Coach? All set. Thank you very much.
Thank you guys for everything. Thank you for your coverage all year long, too. I appreciate it.